Hello and welcome once again to another instalment of the Friday Film Show. As always, I'm your host David O'Sullivan, and this is my weekly show in which I cover everything that's going on in the world of movies, or at least the movies that most interest me. And with that being said, let's get straight into this with opening this week. And the films opening today here in the UK are Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, The Promise, and also, coming out in a few days' time, we have a kind of re-release of Mad Max Fury Road, the Black and Chrome edition. And obviously the one I'm most excited about is Guardians Volume 2, which I have already seen. And by now, my kind of first reaction, having just seen the film, should be up on my channel right now. I filmed a kind of like first thoughts, like initial reaction kind of video, just after I saw the film last night. So that should be up on my channel right now. In short, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really great. I'm not comparing it to the first movie like everybody else is, because, you know, it's similar to the first movie, but it's also very different at the same time. It's still very much its own film, and I really like that James Gunn didn't just kind of do the exact same things he did before. It wasn't just a rehash of the first movie. It was similar in a lot of ways, but it was also very much its own thing. I really enjoyed that. I think it was, you know, just as funny, if not maybe funnier than the original, more kind of emotional and dramatic, and I really enjoy it. So, you know, if you want to know more about what I think about the film, then be sure to check out my kind of first reaction of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That should be up on my channel, like I said, right now. The Promise, this is a kind of that new film. It's like an historical, is it period drama, I think. I don't know much about it. I've seen some bits and pieces here and there. Oscar Isaac, I think it is, Christian Bale. The funny thing is, though, The Promise, I don't think it looks like a bad film, but they seem to be really hard in this film. Like, it comes out today, and yet the only piece of marketing I've seen for this film, in cinemas, on TV, whatever, was I saw a TV spot yesterday on the TV. That's it. I haven't seen anything in the cinemas or anything on TV until yesterday, and I saw that TV spot. So I don't know why they're hiding this movie. I think it's because it's not getting that good of a response. A lot of people seem to be like not really liking the film, not taking to it. I think it's kind of quite a controversial film as well in terms of the subject matter it's dealing with and the kind of the period of history, kind of the story it's telling. I don't know that much about the film, so I'm not going to pretend like I do, but it's not that I'm not interested in the film per se, it's just that I'm not really kind of, you know, it's not really on my radar, to be honest with you. However, Mad Max Fury Road, the Black and Chrome edition, I have not seen Mad Max Fury Road in the Black and Chrome version. I mean, it's basically the exact same film, just they just you know, convert it to black and white. The conversion doesn't look that great, you know. I feel like they could have done a better job, like, you know, with the contrast and the black's looking really black and the white's looking really white. Otherwise, it just looks like you put like a grayscale filter on the film. A film like Logan, I think, will look fantastic in black and white. I'm all for a black and white version of Logan, because there's so many shots in that film where there's just like shadows and there's kind of dark images with bright backgrounds, or, you know, those kind of things that will look really great in black and white. But Mad Max Fury Road, it looks cool, I guess. I might check it out. I love Fury Road. I think it's a great film. It's getting re-released in cinemas sometime this week, I think, or, you know, early next week. So I might check it out. But yeah, I'm not sure the kind of the black and white version is necessary, to be honest with you. It doesn't look that great, but I still might check it out. But obviously, the film I'm most excited about is Guardians Volume 2, which I have seen, and I loved it. I thought it was really great. Now going into a quick box office rundown, and the top 10 films currently playing in the UK box office are, number 10, Moulin Rouge Secret Cinema, and number 9, Peppa Pig, My First Cinema Experience. I still don't have no clue what those two films are, but, you know, there we go. Number 8, Get Out, still in the top 10 there. Number 7, Going in Style, and number 6, Unforgettable. I have no idea how Unforgettable got so high in the top 10, but there we go. Number 5, Smurfs Lost Village. Number 4, Their Finest, which I'm really happy Their Finest got that high up in the top 10. Number 3, Beauty and the Beast, still up there in the top 3. Number 2, The Boss Baby, and number 1, Fate of the Furious. So it's kind of pretty similar to last week, to be honest with you. The weekend before last, I should say. As I said, I'm really happy that Their Finest, that's kind of the newest release on here, other than Unforgettable, but I'm really happy Their Finest has got that high up. I didn't expect it to get that much and to be kind of that high, you know, aside from the big heavy hitters of Fate of the Furious, Boss Baby, Beauty and the Beast. It is kind of the highest one up there, right up there, kind of just missing out on the top 3 up at the number 4 spot, so I'm really happy about that. as I said, I have no idea how Unforgettable got that high. I mean, it didn't make loads or anything, but number 6, I mean, it was only one of the only real kind of big new releases, but still, like, I have no idea how it got that much and got that high up in the box office. I haven't actually seen the film myself, but I've seen a lot of kind of stuff from the marketing campaign, and from everyone that has seen it, I was saying it's utterly terrible. So I can't believe it's done that well, but as I said, it's one of the only big new releases out, so I guess everyone just went to see Unforgettable. Now going to movie news, and I've got a lot of big movie news stories here because a lot of stuff dropped the past week, especially as far as kind of big new movies getting release dates. But first up, we have that Marvel may organise their films by something other than phases after Avengers 4. And if I look at what was said here by Kevin Feige, I believe, he said, "We've been lucky that contract expirations haven't factored in too much. We've had people under contract for certain films, then we've had new ideas and new directions like Civil War, like we wanted to do. And we've been lucky enough to make new contracts. Or Spider-Man Homecoming. The cast has been awesome in their enthusiasm for the direction and the storylines that we've been telling. So it really does, right now, all start with where we want to take the stories. Certainly as we get to Infinity War, there is a sense of a climax, if not a conclusion, to, by the time we're at Untitled Avengers 4, the 22 movies that would have encompassed the first 3 phases of the MCU. And what happens after that will be very different. I don't know if it's phase 4, it might be a new thing." And I actually really like these comments because, as Kevin Feige said, everything that's happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe up until this point, everything from the very first Iron Man to the 4th Avengers film or Infinity War, it's all been leading up to that, the Infinity Stones, and I feel like if Infinity War or Avengers 4 is going to be a massive, big, kind of epic conclusion to everything we've had in the Cinematic Universe up until this point, I feel like it would be good to go into something different in Phase 4, and I'm just speculating here, but I have a feeling that Phase 4 will be a lot more cosmic. So we've seen them over the years introduce a lot of kind of more cosmic elements into their movies. We saw the first off with Aliens in Avengers, and then we got Guardians, obviously, Doctor Strange, and then they're going even crazier, some of the stuff that happens in Guardians Volume 2. So I really feel like they're veering more into the cosmic realm, and I want to focus more on the cosmic side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because we've seen a lot of Earthbound Marvel movies, and I feel like they want to take it in more of a cosmic direction. I could be wrong, maybe they'll make it more Earthbound in Phase 4, but I think Kevin Feige even dropped some other comments actually backing this up, saying that we want to explore more of the cosmic side of the cinematic universe, and I really like that. I think it'd be a really cool idea to kind of maybe take it away from Earth and saving Earth and make it more just cosmic and set in the Marvel cosmic universe, because everyone loves that of Guardians, and hopefully we might see more of that maybe with Captain Marvel, obviously with Infinity War, and whatever Avengers 4 is going to be. So I feel like after this big, epic Infinity War thing with Thanos, I feel like it'll be really good to kind of maybe move away from saving the Earth and Earthbound Avengers and make it more cosmic, especially if a lot of the characters we've had up until this point, like Iron Man, etc., if some of them maybe die, or maybe kind of, their contracts expire, and maybe we kind of lose some of these big heroes, and we get lots of new heroes that are introduced, like Captain Marvel, for example. I feel like maybe Marvel will go in more of a cosmic direction and focus on more of these newer, more cosmic heroes in the cosmic universe side of Marvel. And yeah, that's what I think they're going to do. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like they're going to head in more of a kind of in more of a cosmic direction and move away from the Earth. I think that'd be really cool to see. And who knows, if they do end up striking a deal with Fox, maybe we could see Fantastic Four in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And talking about a cosmic Marvel universe, Fantastic Four would be perfect. Silver Surfer, Galactus, Annihilus, all this stuff. It would be so cool if Marvel were able to get the rights back, or at least kind of strike some kind of deal with Fox and make some big, epic, cosmic Phase 4, culminating in a kind of Fantastic Four team up, or Galactus or something like that. That would be just so cool to see. So that's what I'm really hoping for. It might not happen, it might be kind of something completely different to what I'm speculating, but that's what I'd really like to see, more Avengers in the cosmic side of the Marvel Universe, and perhaps some kind of crossover with Fantastic Four. That would just be really cool and so awesome to see. And next up is that the next 4 Avatar movies have got release dates yet again. This is like the 5th or 6th time the Avatar sequels have been given release dates, but they're actually starting production now. We had the cast and crew photo there. They're kind of starting production, and Apparently, the first Avatar sequel is going to be released on December 18th, 2020, and the next one on December 17th, 2021, and then the fourth one on December 20th, 2024, and then the next one on December 19th, 2025. Okay, so we're going to get 4 Avatar sequels, and the first one is not coming out for another 3 years, and yeah. Okay, I'm not sure what to think about this. I mean, I do really like Avatar, the first movie. I think it's really great. I'm looking forward to a sequel or sequels. I think, 4 is a bit overkill. Do we really need 4 Avatar sequels? I mean, I have no idea what James Cameron's planning. Maybe planning some massive, expansive, Lord of the Rings-esque kind of saga that's going to be all kind of interconnected, and it's going to be some massive, big, epic thing that's going to blow our minds, and we're going to be like, oh my god, this is the kind of the greatest event in cinematic history. Who knows? If anyone can do it, it's going to be James Cameron. And maybe he's waiting because he's waiting for the technology to catch up. We saw with the first Avatar, he came up with the idea for the first Avatar, I think in the 90s, and he waited like 10 years or so to do that first Avatar movie because he wanted the technology to get up to par so he could do kind of the extensive motion capture that we saw in the first Avatar, and it really paid off because the effects are great in that movie, and it really just blew all our minds when it first came out. So maybe he's waiting for the technology to get even better once again because he's going to go even bigger and even crazier in these new movies. If that's the case, then okay, fair enough, you know. And a lot of the times with James Cameron, he waits like 10 years in between doing each of his films, you know. There was like a 10-year gap between, Terminator and Titanic, I think, and then a 10-year gap between Titanic and Avatar, and now a 11-year gap between Avatar and Avatar 2, so it's kind of what James Cameron does, and then every time we do end up waiting 10 years, he delivers a great film. We saw that with, you know, he's done it with Aliens, he's done it with T2 Judgment Day, he's done it with Titanic, he's done it with Avatar, so, you know, great track record. So even though I think this is kind of ridiculous, you know, 4 sequels, the first one's not going to come out for another 3 years still. If anyone can pull it off, and if anyone can blow our minds and really deliver, it's James Cameron. So I'm a big James Cameron fan. He's probably one of my favourite directors, you know, as I said, Aliens, T2. I even really like the first Avatar. I really don't get the hate the first Avatar movie gets. You know, it was like everyone loved it when it first came out, and then it quickly became the cool thing to hate on Avatar. It's not like a perfect film or anything. It's not one of the best films of all time, but I really enjoyed that first Avatar movie, and I'm looking forward to more Avatar movies. I don't know if I really want 4 sequels, but as I said, who knows what James Cameron's planning, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm just a bit kind of like bummed out. You have to wait 3 years just for the first one, but I am looking forward to these Avatar movies when they do eventually come out, but at least they're finally beginning production on them now, so, and they've actually got release dates. And next up is that 3 X-Men films also have been given release dates for next year, I believe. New Mutants, Deadpool 2 and Dark Phoenix have all gotten release dates. New Mutants will be released on April 13th, 2018, Deadpool 2 on June 1st, 2018, and then X-Men The Dark Phoenix will be on November 2nd, 2018. And I think this is good news. I'm a big fan of the Fox X-Men movies. I know a lot of people really don't like them. I think for the most part they're all really great. Obviously there's some stinkers in there. I actually enjoyed X-Men Apocalypse. I think it's one of the best X-Men movies. Obviously it's nowhere near as good as Days of Future Past or First Class, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. I still thought it was a good film, even though I don't think it was as good as it maybe could have been. I think it could have been better. Coming off of Days of Future Past, that's kind of a tough act to follow. But I still thought it was a good film, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they're going to go from here. I'm glad they're not just abandoning it and just completely kind of rebooting it and starting from scratch. We had those rumours last year that they were going to think about doing that. I think that's what they're considering at least, but at least with this news now, it's confirmed they're going ahead with The Dark Phoenix, which I think is pretty cool, because obviously they tried to do it before The Last Stand and it was kind of botched in that movie. That was less of a Dark Phoenix film. It was more of an X-Men film about the Cure that just happened to kind of shoehorn Dark Phoenix in there, and it wasn't really about the Phoenix saga, if you will. I don't know that much about the comics, but I am looking forward to a proper, true to the comics interpretation of the Dark Phoenix on the big screen, and obviously a lot of it was kind of set up and teased foreshadowed in X-Men Apocalypse. Obviously we've got Sophie Turner as the young Jean Grey. She didn't blow me away. I don't think she was that great in the role, but she didn't really get that much to do or that much to work with as an actress, so hopefully she'll be kind of even better the next time around and have more to work with, because if it's a Dark Phoenix film, she's probably going to be, I would assume, the main character, or at least have a very prominent lead role in that film. So I'm looking forward to the X-Men movie. And Deadpool 2 has been given a release date of June, and I think they could have kept it in February. I don't think it's a big problem they're moving it away from February, because obviously the first movie came out in February on Valentine's Day, and it was kind of a cool, kind of a gimmicky thing, and that it was like a Valentine's Day movie that wasn't really a Valentine's Day movie, and a lot of couples went to see it, and it did really well at the box office. So I think it would have been a smart move to put the second one out in February as well. And obviously we saw from this year, John Wick Chapter 2 was released in February, and that did really well. I kind of like the idea that every year a really cool action movie comes out in February, but I think it does make sense maybe it's June. I mean, the first one did so well, did such kind of big numbers at the box office, it kind of makes sense moving to a summer release date, because it was making summer movie numbers, and who knows, it might even do even better in June. Though I would have still liked to have seen it in February. But of course we're going to get the New Mutants on April, so it probably would have been too close together if Deadpool would come out of February and then New Mutants at April. But there we go, that's just my thoughts on the 3 X-Men movies that are coming out next year. I'm looking forward to all of them. I don't know that much about New Mutants, although I am looking forward to it. I think New Mutants will possibly be set in the 80s maybe, or 90s, I would assume, and hopefully James McAvoy will come back for that. It's been rumoured that he is going to come back, so let's hope so. And hopefully we'll see all the main guys back for X-Men Dark Phoenix as well. I don't know if Jennifer Lawrence needs to come back as Mystique or not, but I would like to see James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender return. I think they're so great. And obviously all the new young cast as well. And next up is that Star Wars Episode 9 and the next Indiana Jones also get new release dates. We've got massive seriously, it seems like every big movie coming out in the next 2 or 3 years have been getting release dates this past week. But yeah, Star Wars Episode 9 actually has been moved. It's not going to debut in December like the other 2 movies. Obviously Episode 7 December 2015, Episode 8 December 2017, but Episode 9 is coming out May 2019, not December. And I feel like this makes sense. Obviously, May is a big kind of Star Wars is known for coming out in May the Force be with you, and a lot of kind of the Star Wars purists and the big Star Wars fanboys like, oh yeah, they really want it on May. But I feel like it probably would have made sense leaving it to December. Not that it won't do well in May, I think it will do just as well in May, maybe even better, who knows. But I feel like it's a little odd in that, why would you release the first 2 in the trilogy, release both Episode 7 and Episode 8 in December, and then you not put the third one out in the trilogy in December as well? It just seems a little odd. It's like, why would you not just put them all 3 out in December? You've already done it with the first 2, and it just seems like a little bit of a kind of a weird odd one out kind of decision to put the third one in May. I would have been fine if the other 2 were in May, but it just seems a bit of weird, kind of breaking the pattern there. Audiences might get confused. When I say confused, obviously they'll realise it's coming out in May, but it seems like a bit of a tradition, like, okay, that's December, Star Wars, and then December after, then Star Wars again, and it's like, oh, it's May, oh, okay, May, really? So it's a little odd. This is just speculation on my part, but I have a feeling that maybe moving the saga movies to May so that they can then release the standalones in December and get to a point maybe where they're releasing kind of a saga film and a standalone film every year, or just 2 Star Wars movies every year, one in May, one in December. Maybe that's why they're doing it. That's the only reason I can think why they're doing this, because otherwise why not put the third one out, or Episode 9 out in December, because 7 and 8 were in December, so it's a little weird not to put 9 in December. But as I said, maybe they are kind of shifting into releasing maybe, or planning to release 2 Star Wars movies every year, one in May, one in December. Also, it's a little odd because it comes out around the same time as Avengers 4, I think, so that's a little odd why they're going to do that. I mean, obviously they're both Disney movies, both owned by Disney, kind of Marvel and Lucasfilm. It's a little odd why they release 2 big movies like that, a real big Marvel movie in an Avengers film and a real big Star Wars movie in Episode 9, so close together. So I have a feeling maybe they will revisit that, maybe they will move it back to December, because it seems a little odd why they release those 2 films so close together. But I'm not against them releasing it in May. I think that would be pretty cool to see Star Wars back in May. I feel like it just would make sense for them to keep with the tradition of at least this new trilogy with releasing it in December. But who knows how it's going to happen. And, you know, I think May is perfectly fine. I think it will still do just as well in May. Also, the new Indiana Jones film is coming out 2020 now. I mean, it was originally slated for 2019 release. Now it's 2020, and I feel like, is this ever going to happen? I mean, it probably will, but I feel like, why do they keep delaying it, keep pushing it back? I mean, it's not been delayed that many times. It's not like Avatar or anything, but Harrison Ford is getting on here. I mean, he's like in his like mid to late 70s now, and I feel like, is there any real point, as great as Harrison Ford is, and as great as he is in that role, he is Indiana Jones, is there really any point in doing an Indiana Jones movie when he's in his late 70s, nearly 80? I mean, what is he going to be able to do? I mean, he did a fair bit in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull when he was in his 60s, but now he's like 10 years older now, and by the time the new one comes out, he's going to be nearly 80. It's like, what is he going to actually be doing stuff as Indiana Jones in this film? I mean, what can he really do when he's nearly 80? I mean, I don't know. I really want to see Harrison Ford back as Indiana Jones in one last adventure, of one real great last Indiana Jones movie with Harrison Ford, directed by Spielberg. I do want to see that, and I think it could be good. And I feel like if Spielberg's heart is really in it, and they really want to deliver a final great outing for the character, I think it would be really good. I just feel like it's kind of a bit too late at this point. I mean, I know they kind of want to get away from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, you know, because, you know, although, to be fair, that was like almost 10 years ago now. But at the same time, Harrison Ford is getting on a bit here now. It's like, how much further can we wait now before it's like we're just getting like a really old Indiana Jones to the point where, is he actually going to be able to do anything in this film? Because I don't think, I would go the route of having flashbacks and having a new, younger actor playing Indiana Jones in like the 30s, say, and then but it would still feature Harrison Ford prominently, but have flashbacks to a younger actor playing Indiana Jones. That way they could then move on to that younger actor potentially after Harrison Ford, you know, gives up playing the role. But I don't think they're doing that. So it's like, if this is just all Harrison Ford, I don't really know how they're going to go about doing this, because what can Indiana Jones really do in an action movie if he's 80 nearly? I just don't see how they're going to go about it. But if anyone can make it work, as Spielberg, my favourite director of all time. Obviously Kingdom of the Crystal Skull wasn't everyone's taste. I don't think it was that great either, but I just really hope they can deliver and give us a real great last outing for this character. I hope it will turn out good. I just hope it actually ends up being made, because it's still kind of a few years away from happening. So let's hope it does happen, and let's hope it is good. And next up is that the Lion King live action remake adds Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner as Pumbaa and Timon. I don't know who this Billy guy is. I've heard that he's supposed to be really great and really funny. He's got his own show. But when I heard Seth Rogen, I was like, that is just perfect casting. You hear Seth Rogen's voice, you're like, that is Pumbaa. He would be perfect for Pumbaa. And I just presumed that before I'd even read what he was playing, but I'm pretty sure he's playing Pumbaa, because, you know, his voice is perfect. And I'd never even thought of Seth Rogen for that role, but as soon as I heard it, I was like, that is just fantastic casting. He would be great in that role. I'm sure Billy Eichner would be great as Timon as well. So I could not be happy with that. I mean, yes, they could have brought the guys from the original back, but, you know, they can't bring everyone back. I feel like James Earl Jones and hopefully Jeremy Irons will be the two that they bring back, because they're just so iconic as Mufasa and Scar. Obviously, we've got Donald Glover now as Simba as well. Potentially Beyonce, maybe. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. And then Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner. Yeah, I think this will be really great. As I said, as soon as I heard Seth Rogen's name, I was like, that is perfect. He just would be like, you just hear him speaking, you're like, yeah, I can just totally envision him speaking as that character, as Pumbaa. So yeah, I think this is really great news, and I think that's perfect casting. And next up is that Jeff Goldblum is confirmed to return as Dr. Ian Malcolm in the Jurassic World sequel. And I'm really happy about this, because when Jurassic World first came out, there was rumours that maybe they would bring back Jeff Goldblum in the sequel. I didn't know if that was going to happen or not, but I feel like if you're going to bring back anyone, bring back Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Ian Malcolm. Jeff Goldblum is still kind of a beloved kind of actor today. He's still in movies, so I feel like it just makes sense bringing him back. He's one of the most iconic, beloved characters in the franchise, and I feel like that's just such a great idea to bring him back. I don't think he's going to have a massive role. I feel like he'll have a prominent role, but not like be one of the leads in the film. It probably wouldn't have worked bringing him back in the first one, but I feel like him coming back in the sequel, I think is a really great idea, and I cannot wait to see him back in the Jurassic World sequel. You know, Jeff Goldblum back in Jurassic Park can only be a good thing, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And also, another big piece of movie news that dropped just the other day is that M. Night Shyamalan dropped the big news that his next film will be called Glass, and it will be the sequel to both Unbreakable and Split, and I am so unbelievably excited for this because Unbreakable, I think, is one of the best kind of unconventional superhero origin stories that we've ever seen on film, and Split I really enjoyed and thought was really great as well. And obviously the big surprise in the Split was that it was actually a sequel to Unbreakable, or set in the same world as Unbreakable, and the fact that now he's getting the chance to complete his trilogy that he always wanted to do back in the day with Glass and tie them all together as this kind of 3-part kind of trilogy of Unbreakable, Split and Glass is going to be so great. And he also revealed that everyone was going to be back. James McAvoy, Anya Taylor-Joy, Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson. It's going to be so great. I cannot wait to see this. Because I was wondering, is he going to keep it a surprise like he did with Split? But no, he's revealed now. It's called Glass. It's a sequel to both Unbreakable and Split. They're going to be crossing over. And I am so excited for this. And also, I love the title Glass, just one word like Unbreakable and Split. And this also hints that maybe it's going to be more centered around Mr. Glass, I would assume. Maybe it's going to be a lot from his perspective. Maybe it's going to be like Mr. Glass teaming up with Kevin Crumb to take on David Dunn and Casey Cook. I love all the comic booky names. And yeah, so I feel like, because obviously in the original Unbreakable, Mr. Glass, there's like, or is it Mr. Glass, or there's a line where it's like, oh, there's kind of the arch enemy villain, and then there's the soldier villain, and obviously Mr. Glass is the arch enemy, the kind of mastermind behind the scenes, and then Kevin Crumb could be the soldier villain now, who poses a physical threat to David Dunn. And it'd be so cool if they do go this route with Kevin Crumb, the Beast, was it the Horde, teaming up with Mr. Glass and then working together to take on David Dunn and Casey Cook. Maybe they'll team up as well. So I'm just really looking forward to this. I think it's just real great news. And obviously, as soon as he's revealed it now, I feel like there's going to be another big surprise and a big kind of Shyamalan-esque shocking twist in the film. You know we're going to get that. So I'm really looking forward to this. So Glass coming out 2019, both a sequel to Unbreakable and Split, and I cannot wait to see it. Really looking forward to that. And now going to new movie trailers, and of course the big new trailer that dropped this last week is for Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and it was, you know, it didn't show that much, but I did like this trailer, and I loved the first Kingsman. Obviously, just such a kick-ass, awesome film. That's what I love about Matthew Vaughn, probably another one of my favourite directors, is that he just really goes for it with his films. You know, Kick-Ass, Kingsman, X-Men First Class. He just goes for it, doesn't hold back. He does his own thing, and they're just so cool and just visceral and dynamic and high energy, and just they're just so entertaining to watch. And Kingsman, the action scenes in that film are just so incredible. And what's so great about Matthew Vaughn is that he directs action sequences in a really unique way. It's almost like a Guy Ritchie kind of thing, but it's got his own kind of unique visual style when it comes to filmmaking and moving the camera and how he captures the action. And it's just so cool to watch unfold. That scene with Colin Firth in the bar, the church scene, of course, absolutely incredible. And big reveal, Colin Firth's back, and a lot of people are like, oh, how could he be back? And I'm sure there'll be an explanation behind it, but even if it is a ridiculous explanation, I'll be fine with it, because Kingsman is a very kind of ridiculous, kind of over the top, silly, insane, crazy film. So, you know, even if it doesn't entirely make sense, I'll be totally fine with that. I mean, this isn't like the real world or anything. It is a crazy fantasy movie, and it is a, you know, crazy kind of film. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I'm pretty sure it's going to be just as good, maybe even better than the first movie. Great cast as well. Halle Berry, Channing Tatum, Julianne Moore, Mark Strong back, Taron Egerton. It's like Colin Firth, of course, as well. Jeff Bridges, I think, is in it. It's like such a great cast, a crazily, insanely awesome cast. So I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, the trailer didn't show much, but it showed enough to get me excited. So yeah, wrapping this up now with this week in review. My top 5 films currently playing in UK cinemas right now. Number 5, I have Their Finest, a charming, really enjoyable film that I thought was really great. And number 4, Free Fire. I absolutely love Free Fire. I thought it was fantastic. And number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I absolutely love Guardians. And number 2 is Lost City Z. And still at number 1, it's Logan. But for this week, my film of the week will be one of the new releases, and it is, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 0. I definitely recommend checking it out whenever it was released near you, because I really enjoyed it and I thought it was really great. So there we go. My film of the week for this week is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And there we have it. That looks like this latest installment in the Friday Film Show. If you like this and you want to see more, then be sure to click subscribe to see more. And also, if you missed last week's episode, be sure to go ahead and click over here to catch up on last week's episode of the Friday Film Show, or perhaps down here to watch one of my other recent videos as well. But for now, I've been David O'Sullivan. I'll see you next time.